December 7th, 1941. A day burned into history as a sudden, brutal attack. But what if the inferno at Pearl Harbor wasn't just a surprise ambush, but the tragic, almost inevitable explosion of mounting desperation, miscalculation, and a world on the brink? Japan's imperial ambitions were colossal, encapsulated by the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, a bold vision for establishing dominance across Asia and the Pacific, free from Western influence. However, this burgeoning industrial and military machine was critically reliant on imported natural resources, particularly oil, rubber, and scrap metal, which were essential for its very survival and expansion. As the United States, alarmed by Japanese aggression, imposed increasingly strangling embargoes, Japan faced a profound existential crisis. These U.S.-led sanctions directly threatened their economic viability and imperial aspirations, creating a desperate do-or-die situation where access to vital resources became paramount, pushing them towards drastic measures. America, meanwhile, maintained an unwavering opposition to Japan's aggressive expansion into China and French Indochina. This firm stance led to increasingly severe economic sanctions, specifically designed to curb Japan's imperial ambitions by cutting off its access to vital resources. However, a significant miscalculation permeated U.S. diplomatic and military thinking, a profound underestimation of Japan's desperate willingness and actual capability to launch a direct, large-scale assault on U.S. territory. There was a prevailing, deeply ingrained belief that if Japan were to attack, its most logical targets would be the resource-rich British or Dutch colonies in Southeast Asia, not the seemingly impregnable U.S. Pacific Fleet anchored securely at Pearl Harbor. This critical oversight fostered a dangerous complacency regarding the defense of Hawaii. Failing to fully grasp the high-stakes do-or-die gamble, Japan was increasingly prepared to take as its options dwindled. The path to Pearl Harbor was obscured by a profound fog of war, where critical intelligence signals were present but tragically misunderstood or ignored. American magic intercepts derived from deciphering Japanese diplomatic and military communications provided tantalizing fragments of Tokyo's aggressive intentions and increasing desperation. However, these vital pieces of information were often isolated, suffering from misinterpretation and severe compartmentalization. Key intelligence often failed to connect the crucial dots or reach the appropriate high-level decision-makers in a timely or impactful manner. Compounding this, much of the available attention and resources were unfortunately diverted, with a primary focus placed on potential sabotage threats in Hawaii itself or on protecting other expected targets like the Philippines, tragically pulling focus away from the true looming naval assault. Admiral Yamamoto, keenly aware of America's vast industrial strength, saw Pearl Harbor as an impossible bet, yet Japan's only desperate strategy. He knew Japan couldn't sustain a long war against the U.S. His hope was a swift, decisive strike to cripple the Pacific Fleet, buying critical time, perhaps 6 months, to secure vital resources in Southeast Asia. This, he believed, would force America to negotiate. However, this gamble rested on the profound illusion of a short war. Japanese leadership gravely underestimated American industrial might and the unwavering resolve of its people to fight. They miscalculated that a knockout blow would lead to capitulation, failing to foresee the fierce determination it would ignite. Yamamoto also saw a rapidly closing window of opportunity, believing an attack was imperative before U.S. Pacific defenses fully strengthened. The final act in this tragic drama was the irreconcilable divide of diplomacy. Secretary of State Cordell Hull's uncompromising demands, famously known as the Hull Note, landed like a cold shockwave in Tokyo. It effectively insisted on Japan's complete withdrawal from China and Indochina, a requirement Japanese leadership viewed not as a negotiation, but as an unbearable ultimatum designed to dismantle their entire imperial vision. This triggered profound feelings of humiliation and a devastating loss of face. making any peaceful resolution seem impossible. From Japan's perspective, already starved of vital resources by US-led embargoes, the Hull Note confirmed the grim inevitability of conflict. Believing war with the United States was unavoidable and their empire's survival at stake, a preemptive strike at Pearl Harbor became their perceived last desperate option to secure resources and buy time. Pearl Harbor was a tragic climax of resource desperation, diplomatic deadlocks, and strategic gambles, not mere surprise. Was this outcome inevitable? Share your thoughts in the comments.